at the end of last game, you've made a deal with a strange thing calling itself the Intelligence, that you will let it bring its equipment and over into the tunnels behind your casino. Because the Manticore is positioned in a disused train station. And you've promised to the Intelligence that you will feed them the Quarters, who are a local gang of mostly humans who you've ceased being friendly with.
Yes.
That's about right? Okay, excellent.
Well, not necessarily ceased being friendly with. Like, I think that's probably taking it slightly too far. But definitely on our shit list.
I would say that we are in a state of hostilities, regardless if they acknowledge that fact or not.
Well, sure, they don't. They might just, they just might not realize they're actually on our shit list now. Retribution will come, I guess.
With that said, we're likely on their shit list. What with the whole guards thing?
Well,
so I believe the enmity
really
is
their
mutual.
problem. Like, I still think that that's a them problem, just because they can't see my vision. But remember that my DJ is still very much solidly on our side. Okay, so there's definitely that.
So how many resources will we lose down that pool?
Many, I suspect.
Just
but they'll all be worth it.
Really?
Every single one will be absolutely worth it. And do you know why? Because he's literally the only reason we actually got our casino back up and running again.
I would just bet on epistemological problems. It's easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Us not being able to identify worth.
Okay, so wrestling control over what's happening briefly away from you guys.
What? I'm sorry.
No.
This is your game.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works at all. You've been in charge of the Manticore about a week now. And things are starting to hit something of a groove, at least. You no longer have people just quitting an hour before the floor opens.
See? Totally working. Just want to say. Totally working. Oh, yes.
Okay. You're even getting some people who might be considered regulars.
So, are any of them classy enough to actually be giving us money at this point?
Well, I mean, sure, they come and they lose money. That's what people do in a casino.
Enough money, though. Are they actually losing enough money? Or do we need to work on that?
What exactly is enough in this context?
Well, are we at least breaking even? Are we making a decent profit? What kind of profit are we actually making?
Yep, so far you're making reasonable profit. It's a bit less than you maybe would have expected, but at the same time, you remember that your goal here is not actually to make money.
So to translate out of GM speak, if one of our party was not frittering away their time in spaces out of mind or in Red Bro, but instead it devoted themselves, and again, I'm speaking purely hypothetically, this could apply to anyone, but instead devoted themselves to the improvement of the business wouldn't be as shit.
Well then, that's one way of putting it.
Again, not implying that either of us are at fault in this regard.
You better not, because, remember, I do have thorn tongue, so you better not be speaking these truths in my presence.
I do note that you only want to use that against me. Perhaps if we redirected your energies towards the advancement of our common cause.
I have been trying, all the way down south. Do you know how much I have toiled? I invented a whole new version.
You have drunk so much alcohol for the cause. My heart.
And played so much music.
My heart bleeds for thee.
I hope so. I hope so.
There is a polite knock on the door.
I go and answer it.
Early morning, so about midday. A young man stands outside. In fact, you recognize this young man because he was one of your croupiers a few days ago.
Yep.
So, human. His name is Kerry. And he just don't worry too much. I have arrived to be a mediary.
Mediary?
Really? And who do you wish to intermediate between?
I am to be the speaker for the intelligence.
Oh.
Fantastic. Welcome.
I introduce him to my dubstep crew and say we would love to have your help.
So about that, your dubstep crew, are you talking about Malivian?
Just one person, yes.
Yeah.
We're still
Okay.
a crew. There's at least two of us.
Kat?
He's
Sorry.
totally fine. It's going to be great.
Fiona? Perhaps we don't want to be introducing everyone to everyone.
Well, a more immediate concern quickly becomes apparent in that these two indeed know each other because they're both from the same gang.
Yes!
Except one of them now has a mind-controlling crystal stuck in their head.
See? Isn't he going to be so happy that he's stuck with us and not his stupid crew that don't
You
see
know
my
what,
vision?
Kat? This is your problem. I want to delegate. Over to you.
Hey, look, absolutely. This is fine.
Uh-huh.
Not my problem. He chose to stay with us. We told him that they were going to get into shit. Turns out they've gotten into shit.
Yeah, so Malivian will, a few minutes later, come over to Fiona and go, what's happening? What's wrong with Kerry? Why is he just standing there staring at the wall?
Because, unfortunately, you know, I'm very, very sorry to say, but remember back when I was telling you that you kind of need to stick with this because stuff's about to happen in the quarter? Well, it's happening. And unfortunately, your crew is starting to get caught up in it, and we're trying very hard for this not to happen. But at the moment, they're kind of their own worst enemies.
Okay, so I will want a deceive plus high society roll from you on this.
Why high
That's where you
society?
are.
Is he in high society?
No, Kat, we're in a high society casino.
Can I do occult because I'm lying about the occult?
No, at most you can do crime because you're lying to a criminal. So it will be deceive plus
I don't
either
have
high
any of
society or
those
crime.
things.
Also, once we're done with that, you need to pick your obsessive research topic.
Oh, of course. Yep.
But first,
All right. So what am I rolling?
let's see if
Literally one dice because I don't have any of those things.
you don't have deceive.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
have
deceive.
I don't have deceive. I've got compel and
right.
I've got investigate.
So,
I can compel
it
him
is
to
one die.
believe me.
Would you like to rephrase what you just said to make it more of a compel rather than deceive? Because the reason I think it was deceive is because you were saying the things are happening and we're trying to help you guys and we're not at fault for any of this.
Well, I am
That
trying
was
to
the
help
gist
them.
of it.
That's completely true. We did, and we
Yeah.
are, and they didn't want to come with us.
Mhm.
They've spat in the face of my vision, and now they're paying the consequences. That is a perfectly true statement.
Kat, the fallout for us would be worse if they believed that what you were saying was the truth.
The truth can hurt nobody, Brian. The truth will set you free. Brian's gonna have a small heart attack in the corner. Okay, how about this then? I will compel him to believe me when I say that I'm going to do my best to try and help his old crew.
That's also
That's a
deceit.
lie.
I'm so bad at this.
Perhaps All right, let me just.
I totally am going to help them, just not necessarily
No,
the way
you're
that they
not.
want. I bet they are healthier
we have
and better
used
fed and cleaner
we
now
have
than they
used-
ever were in that
we have
stupid...
used the
if you
phrase
want-
"feeding the quarters to the intelligence." Feeding is the operative and true and correct verb. It is in fact a justified true belief.
Oh, god damn it. You guys are making this so hard.
I mean, roll one die, see what happens. It
used
goes about as
I
well as
used-
expected.
I used all of my luck in the wrong place.
Yeah. Seeing that this
Okay.
is going south, and seeing that sorry, remind me who this other individual is.
He's the person that's creating all that music. He's our now renowned DJ that is like holding the nightclub section of this, institution together.
So what you're saying is that it would be...
I would be very sad if he died, because he
just checking.
has has actually chosen to stick with us this far, and he has already gone against his crew in sticking with us. We convinced him to stay because he does believe in the grand vision.
So you're saying that you'd be sad,
and our club
not
would suffer.
angry, or just sad. Sad.
Also, to resolve the thing that already happened as a result of rolling dice, you take a tiny bit of reputation stress. You got very lucky on that. And Olivia goes, "Look, okay, I don't know what's happening. I don't think I really want to know what's happening. Just
keep me out of it."
Yes. Is that going to happen to me?
No, God, no. I would never let that happen to you.
Has this happened to anyone else?
That is a personal friend and collaborator of mine? No. I don't know what else is going on with this. I don't have lists of names that this has actually happened to. But I know it's not happening to any people that's with me.
Personal friends and collaborators of yours is a rather short one.
Yes, it is. We've only just gotten here, remember? We don't know many people here.
Right. I'll be off then.
I can compel him to stay.
You can certainly ask him to stay, yes.
Please stay. We've done such fantastic work together. And look at all the money you've made.
I just meant for now, because I'm not scheduled for tonight. But
remember, lies burn like fire near me.
That's if you actually cast the spell.
Oh, fine. I'm totally casting
Which you can.
Okay,
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because it is noticeable when people's tongues sprout spikes as a lie. Malivin will know it's you who did this spell, right? And it'll be very painful if he lies, but he'll also go, "Oh, what the hell?"
So you're saying that I should just let him go cool down and he might come back?
Well, do you want to draw this line in the sand?
Fuck it. I can always go and, erase that bit of knowledge from his memory. That's fine. We'll do that.
Thankfully, you're not quite on that level. You can erase general facts from... but yes, in the other game that I ran of Spire, we've concluded that knights and Karen priests are scary enough. They can mess you up, but you never want anything to do with the Vermisian Sage. They'll just ruin you.
Look, what I'm saying is that the locked stacks, right? What I could definitely do is just kind of say that nobody in Spire really understands or knows anything about AI, about the AI's existence. Would that include the intelligence? Would that include me if I did that?
Suppress a single fact or rumor.
That's not a single
fact. To fade out of public knowledge unless someone makes a dedicated effort to make it known.
So fact, somebody is feeding people to the intelligence. I could erase that.
Okay, Kat, hopefully that has not yet, come out.
Yeah, so you certainly can make people forget that they were ever us. Yeah, there was a gang of humans doing things, and now there is moved on.
But
Okay.
let's actually finish feeding the quarters into the machine first.
I don't think there is an end to that. Just quietly, I'm not sure that's kind of like an end date kind of scenario. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's explicitly not an end date.
No. When I say finish, I mean expend the quarters.
Okay, before we have to find a new quarter source, because that's what I'm thinking at this point.
Do you want to actually, talk to the speaker to see what intelligence
Yes.
was?
So
I just want my dubstep dude back.
while that's going sideways, I will in fact go up to the intelligence emissary.
Yeah. So speaker is sitting at a table, just kind of hands light on it.
Hello.
Greetings.
Care to come into a back room with us so we can chat without so many ears?
As you wish.
We go into the second back room, which is both a low quality liquor store and for some
Not the Black Obsidian shrine to our hidden mistress back room. Yes, I understand.
This is back room number 2, which has let's see here, rubber matting on the floor and curiously sound dampening walls. Just in case. I know, right? It's in case the food goes bad.
And starts screaming and just pleading for help. Yes, I understand.
My plans for the quarters have not yet completed. How may I be of assistance?
I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
That's
very useful.
Yeah, that's a lot more. Fantastic. So my first question is, what plans do you have that involve this locale?
It is suitably out of the way for involved experimentation.
Thank you for the follow, vampire.
Right. Do we need to be worried about the unfortunate outcomes of said experimentation?
No.
Very good. What do you need from us?
We require isolation.
Ooh, isolation we can give.
Sometimes goods will need to be delivered and stored. Sometimes we may have need of specific goods. If you could provide those, you would be rewarded.
While I certainly can't promise anything on generalities, we're receptive to a working relationship.
The intelligence will grow.
Indeed. And may we both prosper.
Would you be interested in joining the intelligence?
No, I would not.
The offer is always on the table.
Thank you. In terms of isolation, do you want us to proceed with our plans to liquidate the quarters, or would you prefer that we not interrupt you in any way?
We have found those you refer to as the quarters, including this body, he touches himself, to be of inferior brain matter quality.
We're going to feed them the gods. Yes!
Some are suitable for manual labor or for purposes such as the one this unit provides. But we do not anticipate we will need the entire quarter stack.
Can you take it anyway?
Unfortunately, these requirements conflict with each other. If you desire isolation, you observed that when you entered this room, one of the old comrades of your body, noticed that you were different. My plan was predicated on...
Yes, it would be fortuitous to give everyone a care or come looking for the ones we've taken.
Yes. So... Perhaps
You
I will
suggest
need to teach you about fertilizer.
Oh no, this is going downhill fast. You think my plan's going badly? Like, come
Oh, no.
on.
Your plans are going badly. Rick is just awful. There's a
I was going to
difference.
say.
I'm feeling very sad now.
No,
I'm
Rick
consoling my dubstep dude in the corner.
Rick, there's a reason why this isn't a soundproof room, and B, Rick is just garbage. Like, there is no shred of morality in him, save like mounted on a plaque on a wall where he can look at and go, huh. Okay. Your requirements are noted. We will see what we can do to diminish their interest. And if you have requests for us, while we can't promise anything, if you send us a letter, just slip a letter in through the door. I give him a spot that won't be picked up on. I'll see what I can do.
There will be no need for a letter. I am here to be a permanent envoy.
I see. Here in the club?
I am to be at your convenience. If you deem it necessary to provide this unit with different locale that is easy to access, that is acceptable.
Good to know. I think I need to go brief my partner on this. For now, if you will just enjoy this room.
Thank you.
Rick,
He appears to be studying the sound dampening material closely.
Rick heads out to find Fiona.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does.
Communicates the essence of what just happened.
So
So
they don't want any more downstairs. They definitely need us to get rid of them all.
Yeah.
We're suggesting fertilizer.
that was my thought.
Are we going to set up a side gig in like really good potatoes or something? Is that something we can do out the back of a casino?
I think that's a little ambitious. However,
Really subpar potatoes. I don't know.
However, the other alternative is us leveraging your guards. So, is this an opportunity for you to get in good with the guard?
By getting them all arrested?
Yes. Can we get them into a position where the guards can mop them up and have an easy?
Yeah, but I don't think the DJ is going to like it.
We're
We can certainly
sacrificing.
give it a shot.
We're sacrificing an awful lot for your DJ.
Well, how about this? I try and convince him that this is the only way to save them because there has been an insidious intelligence gotten into them and are trying to take them one by one. And
That sounds wonderful. Do you have
see whether or not we actually have the capacity.
crime
Do I have crime?
So
or
when
deceive?
so when you say that you want to persuade him,
I mean, you can persuade him.
Ah, the traditional use of we. Got it.
The royal we.
You can do it, and I'll back you up with compel.
Fascinating. Thank you.
That's what I'm going.
Okay, so in that case, we need something to offer him. What can we offer him?
Complete musical freedom across both here and, in several other layers of the sphere.
I treasure my ears. What can we actually offer him that's substantial?
But you think that's not going to be substantial? Completely launching his career?
That's
in the
not
middle
something.
Of the Spire?
That's not.
It totally is.
Your valuation of the Manticore is strangely high. Also,
Look,
if your valuation of the Manticore is that high, then no, that's not something I want to trade. Because it's worth more than he is.
What, launching his career? I didn't say launch it here.
Complete musical freedom.
Oh. He basically already has complete musical freedom. Let's be really honest.
Right. So what you're
death dubstep, dude.
so what you're saying is we'll give him what he already has.
Yes.
In exchange for him
that he has that.
not
he
giving
doesn't know
up.
that he has it because I keep a fairly still tight control on things. But if we give him more freedom there, but more importantly, I actually get him into a couple of other gigs across a couple of different layers of the Spire, I reckon we're going to be all right. Because we have got connections now. It's not just the Silver Quarter that we can do things in. I can totally have him playing across different platforms. It's going to be amazing. A career cannot be limited just to the Silver Quarter. The man needs to grow. He'll love it. He's into my plans. It's the only reason he's still here.
Okay. So if I undertake convincing him to remain based on what he already has, you will take care of getting the quarters into a compromising position that isn't here?
I can try. Yeah, let's do that.
Excellent. Perhaps you want to study up on that.
I will certainly give it a shot.
Out of character, this is a nod to your knack thing.
I know it's a nod to my neck.
Just making sure. I don't think I
know.
was being sufficiently subtle.
I am aware of what you want me to do.
So, yes, let us, in fact, do that. Can't figure out what your obsessive research will be about. Meanwhile, Brian, I think you've earned yourself a new bond with the intelligence. Yeah, no, that...
Yeah, I did. Harry of the intelligence?
Oh, just the intelligence. Carrie is not really in the equation.
Yeah, but it's nice to give the intelligence a name. Great. All right.
All right. I know what my expert's going to be.
Oh?
Yes.
Setting elaborate traps that work.
That last qualifier.
So, therefore,
So if it is not going to
didn't-
work, you're not going to get a chance to
if
use
they
it.
didn't
Subset.
work, they would fail more?
Subset, law, and order.
So, to rephrase in simpler language, entrapping people onto the police.
No, or trapping the police onto other things. The subset's law and order. That applies both ways, man. I'm not putting any direction here. I want to use the whole game.
Entrapment involving the cops.
Exactly right.
Great.
Okay. Okay.
That's really specific.
Well,
It's gonna work. It is totally gonna work.
so honestly, quarters themselves, I don't think will be too much of an issue because when half of their friends go missing,
Yep.
the others will get a hint, and I think it will just add to the legends surrounding Vermisian train stations. Or if you hang around there too long, you'll just go loopy.
Disappear.
Yeah. Well, no, I do want to expend them to advantage.
Okay.
So, Hopefully, Kat can arrange for that. Meanwhile, I have to go looking for her erstwhile DJ.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
We go.
Yep. So you want to find Malivin.
Yes.
Fascinating. Let us see.
Fascinating. That's not a good start to this encounter.
That's a Brian word.
Well, you will find him in Upper Perch.
Can you ping it?
Yes. Hang on, I'm trying to find it on the larger map.
Yes.
There we go. Simple enough.
Oh, which is
easy.
below us. Excellent.
Just the
it is below
Ivory.
you.
All right.
So it is in fact not quite there, but mostly dangling off it. Because Perch is this wonderful place that is very, very cheap dwellings hanging off the side of the spire right here.
Okay.
Death by falling is very common.
We can inflict silver on the Manticore without too much trouble right now. As in, if I wanted to say, hey, we can offer you quarters. Living quarters. Since.
Okay, start from the beginning because I didn't.
Right. I'm thinking about my negotiation strategy.
Okay.
So coming with fresh croissants, but being able to offer something substantial. Do we have space to put for small apartments effectively in Crux?
Not really, because whatever free space at the back you have given over to intelligence.
Right.
And on the other side of Crux is the apartments complex.
Right. All right.
And in the small space above the casino, you wanted to have a guard post for God knows what reason.
And of course, we cannot forget the Opal apartment.
Well, you certainly can't forget the pole, which I'm just saying, I still have not actually actively seen a guard come down yet. I'm just putting that out into the ether for consideration.
Fiona?
Bring me back my guard. Thank you. We are working very hard. You know, my inspiration needs some inspiration, please.
Fascinating.
You want this as much as I do. I know that for an actual fact.
Doubtful, but
no, not doubtful at all. That was the whole point.
I am quite sure that this is on the list of Rick's priorities, except for the fact that someone keeps jumping up and down on the list.
I can't imagine who that is. You should
I know,
do something
right?
about that.
Your imagination is just so limited. All right, so I bring a bag full of croissants to the perch.
Okay, so that involves climbing down rope ladders and then walking across bridges which have occasionally planks and that are not just swaying in the wind.
So what you're saying is croissants are a challenge.
Oh, getting there is a challenge.
Right.
You take your time and you move slowly, and then you're just overtaken by a gaggle of kids running down this bridge like it's nothing. But yes, it's a harrowing experience to be there.
It's totally worth it. It is totally going to be worth it.
Malivian's apartment, if one can call it that, is it sways. Take a single room cheapest apartment you've seen, tilt it about 20 degrees, sway it in the air.
Reminds me of my PhD.
So he's all his possessions are tied with various ropes steps to walls. And yeah, he looks up very surprised to have any visitors.
Croissant?
Sure, I guess. What's happening?
I just wanted to drop by and make sure that everything was well. I understand that you might have some concerns, and that my colleague in her enthusiasms might not have communicated.
Yeah, can you tell me what's happening? Do I want to know what's happening?
My response to that would be, would you like another croissant?
Right.
Effectively, I'm wondering what I can do to help you. Make sure that any concerns you have don't matter. So. No, knowing what is actually happening would not be.
Okay, so you want to bribe me into not caring about what happens to my, well, let's call them friends for now, for lack of a better term.
Oh, wow. He won't even define them as friends. I love it.
Yes. I'm going to be using Heart's Desire here.
Mm.
It better be wants to be an amazing DJ across all levels of Spire, otherwise I'm done.
Oh, that was fast.
Or live in a place where, you know, guards slide down poles, because we can totally do that too.
Live fast, die young. Dreams may go. Alas, poor dream, we hardly knew thee.
If my elaborate plan comes through and I don't get my DJ, I'm going to be very sad.
Yes.
Okay, so Heart's Desire, you find out what he wants right this moment.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, he does want to get out of this rat hole. Fortunately, it's not rat hole because rats fall.
Have standards, yes.
Yes. Pigeons, on the other hand.
Right. Okay. My colleague is interested in furthering your musical career. Clearly, you would need to be able to get around more effectively than you would here.
Clearly.
Would you be interested if we could find you a small apartment somewhere in the Silver Quarter? Being more committed to magical. And letting any concerns you might have for your former friends fade away.
Oh God, you really are an evil son of a bitch.
as if there was any doubt.
Like,
well, okay, so sure. You know what? Do make a. You know, no.
Did you have
know
any questions, Kat? Like, this was never in doubt.
Sorry, continue on. I'm interrupting your scene. I will just sit in the back here and lament humanity a little bit.
We're drow. Humans
are my friends.
Yes,
I love
and you're
humans.
deviant.
So much. I love the humans.
I suppose if I had a place with a walk-in door and functional blinds, it would be much easier to turn away and not see what's happening outside my.
I'll make sure that happens. Have the rest of the croissants.
He catches them before they just glide down the table.
Yeah. With the equivalent of a tip of the hat, which is probably some sort of mask adjustment. Wicked Tay goes out to find some cheap quarters in the Silver Quarter.
I mean, that's a total.
Well, so thinking about it, given my other requirements, I'll probably need a chunk of the opal.
Okay.
So let's go. Well, let's actually cut over to Kat, because that was probably about an hour or so.
All right. Well, I'm doing my obsessive research in how to set elaborate traps that work with the subset of Law and Order. So I think I'm done for the day, aren't I?
So you're reading Spy versus Spy?
I think I'm reading many such things. Yes,
Okay.
I am deeply involved in how I'm going to set up the best, most elaborate traps that can go both ways, mind you, because we also kind of want to be able to lure and entrap guards in many different kind of psychological, not just physical ways. So, like, this is quite entrenched research. This is why it's taking the day. And this is why it's going to be my nap today. I am going to use and abuse this for the rest of the game.
I think generally speaking,
this happens outside.
this is what you do. Yeah, in between sessions, so in the margin, kind of, so that you don't, just get a chance to not do things during the session.
Oh, so I
what would you like to do?
I thought that kills us. I thought there was a time requirement in that it kills us
No.
until the end of until he gets back in the evening.
Sorry.
I mean, you can certainly visit the stacks to enact part 1 of your dastardly plan.
Definitely how to make friends and influence people is definitely amongst that number. Absolutely. I'm getting book suggestions from chat.
Kaliadani is an interesting author, yes. Influence, science, and practice.
All right. So I'm sitting back in the nightclub, feeling a bit sad about the possible loss of my fantastic counterpart in music. Machiavelli comes to mind. Definitely Machiavelli. And I start thinking of the best way to actually lure these people out into a bad sort of trap. Now, I know they don't trust me, right?
Okay, yep.
So I kind of actually need our DJ for my plan. I was going to use him to try and trap them, but that's all right. So this is a fairly low-level human gang, right? And most of them are fairly young. So there's not a lot of old guys in this little sector, I sort of surmised from our previous description.
I don't think any of the quarters are old.
You don't think any of the quarters are old? So we're talking top end, maybe 21, 22?
Sure.
Okay. So I reckon that we can actually just kind of like pretend that we're putting on a party in a different section of the town and distribute flyers only in areas that we know that our quarters are going to be picking things up. And then they can all go there and then we can have the guards waiting and it'll be amazing.
This is what you would hear me say if I was there, in a hypothetical sense. You have a vivid imagination.
I do. This is an elaborate plan.
Well,
exactly.
So
which I am well researched in.
There is an actual festival that's happening tonight and the next couple of days, realistically. That is Summercoat's Bounty, a beer festival led primarily by humans, where beer stalls of varying quality line the streets and gutters over with recycled beer.
So what you're thinking is getting them to that festival, dealing illicit substances, but to
the problem is, if we do that, it's a very crowded place, and there's a lot of places for them to run and hide when the guards turn up. Like, they will be able to scatter. We need somewhere that is like literally a trap. We need them where there's no hidey holes where they can fuck off to. We want to make sure that every single one of them are actually accounted for by the end of this, because even if one of them escapes and has knowledge of the intelligence, it is going to end badly for us.
So you're DJ.
except for our DJ, who's totally on board. He already betrayed them by staying. Everybody else left, and he didn't. Right, so he's already started the separation from this crew. I'm not that worried about the DJ, but the rest of them showed solidarity, and they all walked out and left. And that sort of solidarity is quite dangerous for us at the moment. So we need it's like an all or nothing thing going on.
Bust up the unions.
Exactly right. In the Silver Quarter, when they're actually human thieves, and we're trying to.
Kat, may I just say that you have no high ground to shell?
Oh my god, trap step. Absolutely. We can do trap dubstep. This is going to be annoying. I'm going to make some music specifically for when the trap goes down. And it's going to be the doomsday music of the rest of the game, so that whenever a trap is set and it goes off and we win, we can play trap dubstep.
So, my thinking...
Okay. So, the plan is to lure the Quarters with an offer of some sort of a party, free drinks, something. And to then also lure to the same locale guards.
Absolutely.
Now, here's again, I think the most important question. Why should guards give a damn about this unimportant gang? They're taking drugs in Silver Quarter. Oh no.
No. We've got to have them with like some sort of like high level sort of gear that they've clearly ripped off from somewhere, and they can, protest their innocence because they didn't actually steal that particular thing. Oh, we can get somebody's mask. And we can have them with somebody's mask. That would be amazing. That is definitely an elaborate trap.
So it sounds to me like you want the Quarters to be your fall guys, which is fantastic. But you need something for them to fall for, and without having something
really bad at crime.
Huh? Wait, what?
Neither of us has criminal skills.
Yeah, but I've got a knack of setting elaborate traps at work with the Law and Order subset.
No.
This is totally part of setting a trap. Our traps have components. Those components is a high-value stolen item. Surely I get points towards stealing that item.
But you have neither crime nor high society, so you'd have 2d10 to pull off your heist.
Depending on the scenario in which we're stealing things, I sense that we need to set another elaborate trap.
Well, my point was that you have the fall guys, but you have nothing to pin on them. You have nothing that you're trying to accomplish other than for them to fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a waste to entrap them, because normally you have fall guys when you're trying to get away with stuff. Right?
Sure, but we're not talking about whether or not it's a waste or not waste. We're talking about an elaborate trap.
If I might be slightly less enthusiastic.
Oh, okay. All right.
Considering that we are who we are. And that there is a managing partner who has control of the opal. Wouldn't it be just the saddest thing if the Quarters were caught as murderers of a fine, upstanding drow landlord? So sad.
I feel I have to remind you that help the drow. Or does it not extend to drow landlords?
I also want to know who's going to be killed here. Exactly.
The managing owner of the opal.
How on earth are we going to do that?
With a devious trap.
With an elaborate plan?
I mean, killing people is not that complicated.
Yes, killing people is not that complicated. It's dealing with the fallout. Don't quote that out of context, please. Jesus Christ.
We are slipping from bad to worse in this game. I just want
And
to.
you're not even picking particularly repugnant targets that would be appropriate for you to hate. You're just going, yeah,
whatever,
person,
that guy.
convenient.
That guy. We're taking that guy right there.
At least find someone who is oppressing the drow. I mean, for all we know, the landlord apartments
Everyone's
is,
oppressing
in fact,
the drow.
a horrible
Like, let's be
person.
honest.
There
Everybody
is an obvious
oppressing the
target.
drow.
If we want to go that way, we can target Strides Out Herma.
Done.
However,
Done. And we can make friends with them at the same time because,
however, he is the deacon of a church that has just established a war temple of paladins. So
so they're going to be
remember
super
how
pissed if someone tries
I
to kill him.
said killing people is not that hard?
yes, he's not
Yeah.
people, and it is hard. Yes, no, that's absolutely granted.
Let's do it. This is going to be amazing.
Perhaps we want to dampen the enthusiasm just a tad.
This was your idea. Are we definitely
We are
enthusiasm on your
exploring ideas. Let's actually, before we do anything, I do want to get a sense of what the owner, the controller of the Opal is like.
Okay.
Mainly because I need to go meet with him and get some apartments anyways.
Well, so first things first, it is her, not him.
Indeed.
So her name is Elisana, and she is known to not be a particularly kind of forgiving person when it comes to people missing their rent.
Shock.
Yeah, like.
But not particularly outside the norms within the norms of a landlord.
Yeah, you haven't heard. If you want to do proper investigation into her background, that is a check. Otherwise, you haven't heard anything.
No, I since we're plotting and planning.
Well, then that will be. So, how are you investigating?
Well, part of me wants to delegate to our investigator.
Yes.
But I'm terrified at what would happen.
So what are we going to do? Is that going to be investigate an occult or investigate in commerce?
Probably investigate in high society, as that's still where you technically are. Although I guess occult would actually work because for some mysterious reason they built an apartment block inside a Vermisian station.
Done. And since we are setting up our trap, I'm totally using my knack.
Well, not for investigating.
Oh, come on. We are investigating a part of my trap. Doesn't that count?
No.
You just want to stop me from using 4 dice all the time. All right, fine. All right, rolling it. You ready? 3, 2. 9! Woohoo!
Okay. Also, Elisana is... Actually, let's start with the question to you instead. This is what, in the Vermisian vault? Is that how you're investigating her?
I assume so, yeah. Because that's where I have to do most of this stuff, isn't it?
Okay.
Just out of, but that's generally how that works. Do I have a choice to not doing that?
Well, it's a question of kind of information you can get because you have an ability to research in there pretty much any subject.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so interestingly enough, Elisana is a Vermisian sage herself.
Okay, we're good.
That was
what?
quick.
What? What did they say?
She is a Vermisian sage herself. There's, a whole bunch of you that you pass by occasionally in the tunnels.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to attack them now. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that.
Cat, would you consider it worthwhile to not be collegial with yourself? Like picking a fight with your.
I probably know them. Maybe I can just go and talk to them about my plan, and they've got somebody.
You probably can talk to them.
So look, we have a really elaborate plan going.
That at some point, until 5 minutes, killing you.
All right.
Like a really elaborate plan. Multi-layers, definitely different groups of people all coming together for a common goal, and it's going to work.
So let's pause and go through the newspaper clippings.
That's a really good idea. Let's do that. Oh.
And I'll make notes in the meantime.
All right, if you bring them up, Brian, just share them and I'll bring them up and make them big on my screen, and then everybody can see what you're reading.
So our objective is to have all guys.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This is a terrible idea.
No, it's an elaborate idea.
Beat backwards as far as plans go.
This is a terrible idea. No, I'm going to listen to my intuition. This is stupid. It's a waste of our attention and resources.
Well, so much for the elaborate plan. How are we going to make an elaborate plan then?
Well, so perhaps we want to step back.
Hey, Brian, or rather, Monsieur Ricket, did your bodyguard go with you to?
He goes
Church?
everywhere.
Yes.
We know this.
Just checking. Okay.
No, this is stupid. So, Fiona, if you could focus, let's step back. The intelligence is not particularly in need of the quarters being. They're insignificant relatively. You were on the trail of someone in the red quarter. No, red row?
Red row.
So perhaps we want to think more about
getting information about that from the law and order side. Because even that works with my elaborate trap for law and order. All right, let's do that then. I will. Now, I did get some idea of the messenger's regularity, didn't I? Well, when I was down there when we were talking, she wouldn't tell me where she was going.
About once a month?
Yeah, about once a month. But do I have a vague idea of when once a month?
Not really. I don't think. Because you only had a few of those from Middle of it.
Sorry. No, I have my fence stalking her.
Yes, you do.
Yes. All right. Time to trap him with the fence and see what he knows. It's been some time. Has it been enough time for him to have gathered
It's
anything?
been a few days.
It's been a few days?
Maybe.
If we're really lucky, she's done a run, but she may not have.
Okay.
All
so you want
right.
to head down?
Yeah, I'll head down. I head down and talk to my fence.
Okay.
And I just realized who we should have been paying attention to.
Do tell.
How's your son? The gentleman who lost so heavily. Did he pay his gambling debts, or did he just stamp out?
So I believe you're talking about Wexford Queen.
I was.
Who's in fact of House Queen, who killed previously a bunch of people
Yep.
from How to Eason. And no, he did pay his debts.
Good.
Because it was money on the table.
Yeah.
And speaking of him, your bodyguard leans in and says, "Boss, someone's following us."
Where are we?
You are in the upper perch, so they are like actual Ivory streets, thankfully.
I'm wondering what I should grab from a stash. What domain will I be using for this interaction?
Depends on what you think of doing. If you make it just a few more streets over, you'll be in academia.
Where am I now? Low society?
Probably low society, yeah.
I assume Fiona is off doing inscrutable eldritch things.
Absolutely down in the red row. Red row.
Right. Back to plan A. In a undertone, we continue on. Basically, I tell Sma to, when I turn a corner into an alley, hang back, try to brain.
Okay, so
Just straight up escalation.
Yep.
Like, it is implausible that he wants to chat, and I have nothing that I can offer him particularly.
Very good.
And it'd be horrible if I didn't earn my refresh.
By risking the life of your bodyguard? Yeah. Okay.
I'm awful.
Yes, you are. Well, so effectively you are attacking via your bodyguard.
Yes.
So
I will. So we're still in low society. So I'm going to use Golden God Snack. D3 stress on silver, please.
Okay, so you quickly swallow a coin.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So and roll to see if you get fallout. You don't. Okay, and so you get acquainted with low society.
Yes.
Very good. Yes, so the plan just jump turns a corner very appropriately low society.
Yeah.
So
It's a
for
very
that,
low society plan.
Sure. Do make me a fight plus low society.
Now, how does the bodyguard interact with this? Bodyguard D6 and tiring.
So D6 is the damage that your
Yep.
will be doing if he actually succeeds. But I do not believe that because technically he's your weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one of the advances you could have taken
is
would given,
ignoble tactic.
Yeah, where you
Cool.
learn to fight, and your bodyguard becomes better able to defend you.
Of course.
Oh no.
Okay. So, well, there is brief sound of scuffle, and then you see being knocked to the ground. As you turn, you see Smart being knocked to the ground. And a drow in house green colors just kneel down on his chest with a small knife pressed to his throat, while Vexford Quinn just strolls out. He had a friend too, it turns out.
And his friend was better than my friend.
It happened that way, yes.
Yes.
You will be taking some stress to Shadow because, well, you're clearly in the middle.
Yeah.
Unseemly altercation, but still no fallout for you, which is maybe not necessarily good. And Vexford strolls out, and do you just stand there and wait for it? Do you turn?
Yeah, I'm going to do the, what's going on? Is everyone all right?
Classic.
Oh, I'm sure they won't be.
Dun dun dun.
Monsieur
that was our
Rickett,
witty repartee. Yep. Yes.
you have wronged me,
I have not.
and I seek satisfaction.
Really?
So bold.
I do. You will come, alone and armed with the blade of your choosing, to this address tomorrow night. It's a square in Silver Quarter. If you do not, your establishment will pay the price.
Ooh.
My honor will be satisfied.
Wow.
What are the terms?
You bring a blade. We...
May I offer something more interesting? Certainly for the same
Like
stakes.
play a game.
As you can see, I am a devotee of adults. If you think that my gambling has wronged you, then let us gamble for our lives.
Ooh.
And what game would we play? He
A game of,
smiles wickedly.
I think a
Definitely
game
roulette.
of poisoned wine would be traditional. Two goblets, one of which is poisoned. As you can see, I lack a leg, so you killing priests in a square is without much satisfaction. But if you think that I, as a priest of
Oh, do
Stolzen,
not fear for my satisfaction. Guts in you will be satisfied enough.
indeed, but if you think that I, as a priest of Stolz, have wronged you, then let us gamble in Stolz's domain. Or what would be more fitting?
Do make a compel plus a low society.
Just want to say, can I pour the drinks? Is that part of what can happen here?
I think difficulty 1, because he has you, and you're saying, hey, let's not fight the game you're good at, let's play the game
that I'm good at, yes. So compel low?
Compel and low society.
Difficulty 1, though.
Difficulty 1, so you lose 1 die.
This is setting up a game of chance. This is not, in fact, a game.
Correct.
Shame.
Huh. You know what? I just might take you up on that.
I'll bring my finest wine.
I'll bring my finest poison.
Agreed.
You better let me choose your wine for you, Brian.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Vexpert leaves, and so does his associate.
Oh,
This is going to be amazing. You reckon my plans are like full of chaos and a little bit unpredictable?
oh, they are inspired in very different ways.
Okay, so that's reasonably resolved. Smar kind of dusts himself off and looks sheepish.
It happens.
Yeah, I didn't expect there to be two of them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump back to Fiona.
All right, I am down
I'll stop
in
taking
the
it.
red row. I'm just going to move my thing around a little bit so that we can actually all see where we're going. We're going down, 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 down. Down,
Boop.
Yep.
down. And across a bit to the red row. All right, well, first of all, I've got to pop back into my absolute crew down in my sea shanty dubstep land, and we have a massive
Disappoint.
party, and it's really cool. I am welcome back with open arms. Many drinks were had. Now,
Yeah, sure, why not?
is my
The
chickie babe
smoke
there?
hole is happy to see you.
And is my chick there?
By your chick, do you mean Rixent?
I mean the
Oh, the
woman
fence.
No, not the fence, not George.
Right, yes. You mean Rixent, the one that works for...
Not
Frozen
George, his
Sparrow
name. No one would ever suspect was George. No, not George. I mean the runner for
Well,
hire.
So considering...
Lily's in a few wars. Is she still around?
Sure.
Excellent. I drink with her again. Just to kind of tap in and say hi, because it would be weird after our amazing conversation last time that I'm building trust.
So you are. Sure, as long as you're buying, she'll keep drinking.
That's pretty
You
cool.
learned last time that she can keep drinking and keep drinking.
Absolutely. And that she really likes what I do to her beer.
Yeah, you make it cold. It's strange.
She's still into it.
Okay,
I don't try and pry any more information out of her this time because I'm building trust. And so, you've got to lay off for a session before you start up again. So after we all have a rip-roaring time, I go out the back and I go and find my fence, wherever the hell he is in Red Row at this point.
Okay. Well, he is somewhat unsurprisingly in his place of business.
What? What? Does it actually have a fence? Because I wanted to have like a
Yes,
actual,
he
like,
sells
little
fences. He sells and installs fences. Finest fences in all of Red Row.
Of course he does.
A sign utterly without irony, because irony would be killed here.
It's my
Yes,
favorite kind of
mugged
irony,
and
is
dumped
definitely
in a canal.
irony. George the Fence, known as the Fence, sells fences.
Partitions and other dividers.
Absolutely.
Very large repertoire.
Very, very large repertoire.
Well, George is showing a black eye and is rubbing the side of his head.
Oh no! Fence, what's going on, dude?
Got made?
You got made!
Yeah.
Oh no! How? Dude, you're pretty good.
Look, you owe me for this, okay?
Of course I owe you for this. I never expected you to get hurt.
medical expenses. Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. I had no idea that she was going to beat you up. That's horrible. What a bitch. Are you okay though, dude? Like, legitimately.
I'll leave.
You'll live?
It's fine.
Would you like some cold beer? I brought some specially for you because I thought you might like it.
Sure. Yeah, he'll have your beer. One of you brings croissants, the other brings beer.
That's right. Wait, he doesn't bring croissants to my fence. He doesn't know my fence.
No,
No.
I brought croissants to your DJ.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, definitely beer. Always beer.
I have standards.
Yeah, so do I.
Far be it
Fucking
from me
croissants.
to object.
All right.
Well-
So, did you actually like manage to find anything out before she made you and smacked you in the face, or was this kind of like a first day kind of deal?
Well, yeah. Look, I reckon I to she was going, and it was just this building with houses, and then I thought I needed to go and see which door she would slip the envelope, and I got on the floor and she was waiting for several. So I reckon I know the
Wow.
floor.
She's
but-
pretty good.
Well, I'm not that good.
Well, you are. Let's not undersell your abilities. You're pretty good.
Yeah, it's those damn
But
houses.
still, like, admittedly, like she is a veteran of sorts that has fought in very many wars and probably has quite a light trigger sense, really. All right, so we sort of vaguely know where she is. All right. I just don't know whether or not I've got anything that'll actually appeal to her. All right, so I know that she's currently getting smashed at the pub, right?
Yeah, in fact, when you were drinking, but to buy a round or two, she seems to be flush with cash.
So she's probably going to sit there and drink for the rest of the night?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the place that, what's his name, thought that where she lives, and I'm going to go and investigate that floor and see if I can figure out which house might be hers.
Okay. Well, so Joshua said that he doesn't think it's her house. She was making it drop.
Oh, sorry, she was making a drop. Oh, okay. No, do we think that she was making a drop on the package that we're interested in?
Well, she had an envelope.
Perfect. All right, we're going to go and
And
try
then
and
she
figure out
didn't.
which. All right, we're going to try and figure out which door that actually is, whose house that actually is.
Okay. Well, so it is a dilapidated building. There's 3 floors total, and maybe 6 apartments per floor.
Okay,
And
but we're pretty sure we know what floor it is,
yeah,
right?
Joshua have said that it's all 2nd floor.
All right, so it'll be an investigate and...
Well, how do you do it? Do you just knock on doors and pretend to be someone you're not?
No, because I don't have deceive.
And you don't have a cunning plan.
I don't have a cunning plan.
Well, so this is definitely low society. And yes, how do you want to find out which door?
Could I use the lock stacks to find out whose houses each of those 6 actually are and see whether or not any of them have a connection to the guard in question?
Also, Lockstacks is the place where you lock away information.
Where I can... Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I... Oh, I've already used obsessive research. Can I just do another vault run?
Okay, so you want to go back into the Remissing Vault?
I think
and
that's actually going to be the easiest way of doing this, is actually using... find out who lives on that floor and then seeing whether or not any of those people have any connections or known previous connections, just so that we've got some background information, because I am a terrible deceiver and I'm going to go knocking on doors and it's not going to end well. So how about we actually try and do some backgrounding on this?
Okay, that sounds good. So do make a low society plus investigate roll.
Do I get to use law and order considering it's around that guard?
No.
So it's 2D then. I find out nothing.
There is precious little regards to the amount of records about Red Row. Because people that live there generally are not important enough to waste paper.
Have a record. Oh, there's nothing in the newspapers. There's nothing, no information about any. Oh, God. Okay.
However, you do, while trying to research it, the only thing that you find linked to that apartment is just obituaries.
Oh, God.
Over the last, decade, people win, people die, people win, people die, and it takes its toll on. It's just this is one of the laws in people's lives to be in somewhere like that. This is like where all the misery is, and so you do take some mind stress, and a mind fallout. So
oh, really?
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I don't think we've had one of those yet.
Not yet.
Wibble, 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 wibble.
Right, it's like, yet.
That will not quite work with the current setup.
This is the point where the DM sits there and decides your fate, and you have to sit here and wait very patiently while he decides what will and will not fly.
Better than what I'm doing right now.
Which is what exactly?
Trying to figure out how to get this guy dead. In a legitimate game of chance. That's why I've got notes.
Don't forget that I've mastered human chemistry. I just want to put that on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real problem. Sorry, Mikhail, are you ready?
Yes.
Right.
I think I will go with you acquire a phobia of ever spending being in a place like that house. It just knowing how much is just drenched into the walls and the carpet there. You do not want to ever step your foot inside anything like that.
So my fallout is never go near dilapidated apartments again?
Pretty much. So it is a phobia. Because it's a moderate fallout, it will stay with you unless you do something about it. Unlike low fallouts, which just go away. So you will avoid the subject of your phobia when possible, and if you have to interact with it, difficulties are increased by 1. So yes, not just poor apartments, but just poor living conditions. Poor people.
So, Red Row.
Large parts of it, yes.
Well,
it's
glad to have you back here
I
in
can still get back to
Silver
my
Quarter.
pub, can't I? I can still get back to my sea shanty pub, can't I?
Yeah. As long as you avoid those dreadful grey block apartments.
And those apartments, and those other apartments. And can't forget the apartments below you. And did you know that people live in the ceiling? I know, right? So you can't
Oh
go
my
on that
god,
street.
you're making it worse. Don't do that to me.
I'm sorry, which one of us was talking so much about the pool?
All right, I flee back to the safety of the Silver Quarter because it's clearly too much for me. All right, I obviously can't go in and start door knocking now.
You can, it's just difficulty will go up because you have to.
Yeah, my difficulty was already through the fucking floor. It's fine. We'll save that for another day. All right, back to his plan. Let's go and do some human chemistry to help Brian win a game of chance.
Okay, back together at the Manticore.
Yep. So Ricochet definitely has his glass of scotch in front of him, and he is drinking with an unusually sober expression.
I might just take this opportunity to get some more water because it's completely empty and I'm extremely thirsty.
Oh, absolutely. Go.
Is that okay? I'll be right back.
I anticipated this eventuality. The real bugger of this is
Yes.
I'm legitimately a priest of the goddess of chance.
Yep. It would be appropriate to see this through.
Oh no, that's not the bugger. The bugger is I don't think it's appropriate to cheat.
No, that's what I mean.
No, that's about the conclusion I came to. The trick is figuring out how he's going to cheat and creating the game appropriately. That's what chance is for. All right.
Who knows? He might just be crazy enough to not even try to cheat.
Oh no. That's not good game design. Game design is to assume that he's going to cheat and design the game such that that's part of the game.
Okay. Well,
But
so what preparations do you want to make?
So I'm going to get as soon as Cat's back. Her recommendations for liquor, a poison, and an anti-venom.
Well, he said Bexford is bringing his own poison.
Yes. But I'm going to assume that he's going to take a anti-venom or antitoxin for his poison. So I clearly can't take the poison in him.
Oh, he's
Yep.
totally going to take an antitoxin, but he doesn't have a human chemist on his side that can basically turn anything into poison if we wanted to.
Well, so the thing is that this does need to be sacred to adults, which means that I can't.
You can't
cheat.
stretch this too far.
What this means is let's assume that he is immune to his own poison.
Okay.
And leave that up to chance. And let us have me be immune to my own poison. That up to chance. And then,
Sure. Or you could just say that I supply you with the wine and you don't take the fall for it being cheating
Right.
because you didn't
No.
know.
So actually, both of you pour your poison into one glass.
so basically what I'm saying is then we roll dice to say drink from that glass, and whether or not your anti-venom works, it's a matter of chance.
So you want a real game of chance.
I am a devotee, yes.
Wow. Wow. You're not even going to fudge this a little bit. I am very impressed.
I'm going to design it so it's even.
There you go.
And I'm going to bring sacred dice.
Here's
Yep.
the real question. Do you make an event out of it?
Sorry?
Do you make an event out of it?
Well, no,
in
he said
Mantic?
come alone.
Yeah, that was for the I'm going to stab you
Oh,
But
do I
why
make...
wouldn't
with a dagger.
Oh, in that
Yeah.
case, an
make it
audience?
an
Yes, of
actual-
course we make it an
for
event.
sure.
It is see the luck priest gamble with his life.
At our event, right? It's going to be at the Manticore. Tell me it's going to be at the Manticore.
Yep. So
Tell me you've got the DJ back so that we can at least have some decent music while you die.
All right.
Crap dubstep, I believe, is what we've decided to call it.
okay. So the duel is happening tomorrow night.
Yep.
That was the arrangement. And if you want to quickly mock up posters to put them all over the place,
Yeah.
that would be pretty amazing.
You know what? I'm all in.
Okay.
Legitimately.
So I think a question I have to you then is, you have a day before potentially dying. What
Yep.
do you do?
What are you going to do?
So, as a player, I don't really want to give up the momentum.
Yeah, this is more of a in-character building thing of what does Monsieur Riquet do in such a situation? What does he contemplate?
He is going through the rituals of his gods.
Right. There's no one you want to go and see. Know that, right? No. words
No.
you've left unspoken too long. Nothing like that.
So, Ricochet, as we've learned,
He is a horrible person.
Is a horrible person.
He is an evil son of a bitch.
Evil son of a bitch. And the cost of that is a life shorn of all of those things that nice people have. And so he has this ritual because it's all he has.
Wow, that's really dark.
He goes to the docks and he consecrates steel. Like he's going back to his roots, but like this is making him look a little bit at himself, and he doesn't
hate what he sees.
Yeah, it's like the normal narrative is that these events make you look at yourself and go, "Oh, I wish I was a better person." He looks at himself and goes,
"Done pretty well."
This is me. I'm wagering with my god and wagering with my goddess.
Okay. Fair enough.
And so he's going to do the rituals of the divines because this is going to be fucking consecrated, and it'll be it will not be because of his failing that the other party cheats.
Okay. And then I guess Fiona do something in the meantime.
Oh, I set up the place for this. This is
Do
going to be an
you,
event.
Despite Ricketts' wishes, try to make him win? He's a valued ally.
No, he's a valued ally, but I would never interfere with ritual. And if this is truly something that he wants, then no, I'm not going to do that because we are the terrorist underground of all of this bloody thing. Like we have pretty strong values. They just happen to be opposing most things, but we're in this together. And if this is something that he feels like he needs to do, I would like to feel he has not interfered in my rituals thus far, and I have respected that. We've invented 3 different forms of dubstep. I'm quite proud of that. And he has not actively stopped me. So okay. if he wants a death ritual, then I will be there and I will supply amazing music.
Also, I have then good news for you in that there is a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Of course there is.
Oh,
is my DJ back?
Because Ricochet is nothing if not a showman.
And is my DJ back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There is...
I see him. I run up. Massive hug.
Oh, and he's actually here earlier because his commute is going downstairs.
That is amazing. Massive hugs.
Wait, have you actually organized for the apartment for him?
Knowing that there is a Vermisian sage in charge of the Opal, I just pay for an apartment. And half the apartment is going to be his, and half the apartment is going to be the fucking garden.
Well, so let's quickly handle that, because pay for it, that is a nice thing to say, but you actually need to make a roll of Compel plus High Society to see if you take Silver Stress, or if it's just, spare cash.
And so this is me arranging for both lodgings for him and the notional guard post.
That will probably bump the difficulty up by 1, because it's not just 1.
Well, no, it's he doesn't get a full apartment. He gets a locking door and a room.
He's going to be roomies with a bunch of guards.
They'll be going through really quickly.
Carry on.
Yeah. It is an upgrade, but it's not much of one. High Society, Compel difficulty 1.
Yep. You've been making profit with your
It's like your
casino.
first turn of the entire game. I'm so proud of you.
And it was a roll too
your
early.
Game of chance.
And it was a roll too early. Because my luck, if nothing, is not without a sense of irony.
Okay. Well, yes, you have rented a nice set of apartments. Just a couple. Okay, that problem sorted.
Yep.
The big night.
Yep.
There is a crowd. Everyone's... Sure, they're listening to music and getting... But they're waiting for the main event.
Yeah, the main event is we're inventing another form of dubstep to go with this gambling of death and life.
You know, that I will leave entirely out. There are, other than just, random people showing up, there are a couple that you would know. First, Captain Noel Lacostra is there in semi-official capacity because...
What the hell is going on? Yeah.
What the hell is going on? If you want poison, it's a that regard. Have a few freedoms, that one. But she anticipates that there may be violence afterwards, one way or another.
One way or another, yes.
Yeah. There are people from both House Queen and House Heeson, of course.
Yep.
They're ready to cheer their side.
Yep.
You are somehow the House Heeson side. There's ample betting. What do you do about the betting?
I take bets. I'll cover all bets.
Okay. Yep. So it is an official event.
Like it's. I celebrate my office.
We have the dubstep covered, by the way.
Oh, good.
I've invented a new form of dubstep. Would you like to hear about it?
No.
It's going to be amazing.
Just in speaking as a player, yes, my life's on the line. Like,
excellent.
This is
okay.
Happy to take this role as it goes.
And another person arrives with a small clique. It is Locke Walks on Light.
I actually look for the notional minister and his clique.
No. So the Late Deacon is not there.
Okay.
But Walks on Light is.
No. He has a quote advisor end quote who's part of the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
According
yes.
Midwife murderer walks free. Iran.
Also, once again, Iran is a midwife that was murdered.
No. It says that Iran was a member of the ministry.
Yes, and she's one that was murdered by the enemy of the righteous draw and turncoat unknown scoundrel who was released into the custody of Lord Locke Walks on Light, who purchased his durance from the city.
Very good.
So
had it backwards.
Absa 100 Antoine Lefebvre is in the group of Locke Walks on Light.
Yep.
So his entire cadre are fairly rough and tumble people. Yeah, sorry, that wasn't just a thing. Who will be there and will happily place bets, but will not actually cause too much of a ruckus. Otherwise, they'll just stand there and people will give them a wide berth. And then Bexford walked in. And there's cheers and there's boos from various parts of the crowd. And he strolls in, and he is also a bit of a showman.
So I take the show from him. Welcome! Welcome! I'm glad to have my erstwhile opponent here. Because I control the locations. I'll take the spotlight from him because fuck him if he's getting the spotlight.
Absolutely.
And jockeying for psychological advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, the show can begin. My opponent has brought poison.
He raises up the bottle with some dark liquid.
We have excellent wine. Now, I expect my opponent to have taken an antidote for his poison, as any right-thinking person would do. And so...
Never.
Oh, well, we can provide some. Because the game is if our antitoxin works. Each of us will have goblets. We will have dice. We will roll to drink out of the goblets. If your antitoxin works against your poison, all to the good. If mine works against mine, all to the good. Have we chosen the same one, though? Each of us will take a sip until one of us dies or we're out of liquid.
A game of dice, not choice.
Sorry?
Chance.
A game of chance,
Always
not
a game of
choice.
Chance.
Oh, the choice is, how will you prepare your drinks? How good is your statistics?
I don't
Your
follow.
spot is up here.
Okay, he's mildly confused. I mentioned statistics.
Because he's an idiot.
Well, he
I
expected
do
that.
you even data, bro? Like, honestly.
Basically, my anticipation was he came in expecting do you take the drink in front of me or do you take the drink in front of you? And
yeah, I get it.
The,
Yeah.
the,
That's
the
not what
obvious
it is.
answer to that is poison both and take the antidote. Therefore,
Absolutely.
we can't play that game because he's anticipating the game and he chose the toxin. Therefore, the game that I'm proposing and putting him up in front of everyone because he'll lose face if he declines is expecting that
Absolutely.
he's done that and raising the stakes.
Absolutely. 100% yes.
So,
And back
Do you
this.
still, I still meant to secretly put poison into
Oh, yeah.
my cup.
It's each of us will have a covered
A
place that we
poison.
can poison,
Yes.
and we can choose how many goblets of poison or not. We don't
There
have
are
to.
multiple goblets, more than
And-
Yeah, always. You
We're in
just keep
control of the
rolling.
statistics. So if you want to pour 5 goblets and poison 2, up to you. The dice, sacred to Stoltz, will provide.
Okay, interesting. He's very, very confused by this, but he'll make it short.
Yep.
He has, at this point, little choice but to go along or lose the entirety of his space.
Just tell
Yep.
me as soon as you start, because I've got something to add to chat.
Go.
You ready to start?
I'm doing the thing, so you can certainly have time to do a thing now.
I've done it.
No.
Excellent. Okay, so to clarify, you don't need
Sorry?
to clarify, you don't need a neutral person who would swap the drinks, so you both don't know what you're doing because it's
No.
different kind of a
Like,
game.
the
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
just
Glasses
because
are numbered, you roll a dice. It's fine.
glasses are numbered. Roll a die. Set out the glasses how you want.
You turn your backs and everyone else in the freaking room knows what's poisoned where, but, you know.
The thing that I will do is, if my knowledge of odds will help, I will basically I'm cheating using the rules, right?
Right. Yes.
And this is why I'm phrasing it this fashion because I think I have mastery. So this would be a mastery sacred to Stoltz. The house always wins.
You know what? Sure. But you're cheating just enough to get a slight.
Oh no, I'm not
Realize-
cheating. I'm
Yeah, not
running the
cheating,
numbers. I'm
Yes.
making the odds in my favor, but I'm not cheating.
Okay. I wonder if the Roll20 supports arbitrary dice size.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. What's the roulette?
Sorry?
What's the number of
I
stops
want to
on
say
roulette?
52, 0, and 00.
Hmm.
I'll look that up quickly.
Just from my chat, I will
Numbered 0
actually
to
have it.
0 to 36, and the North American tradition is 0 and 00 because the house is fucking greedy.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to roll a d38 and to account for 0 and 00.
Yep.
And so you will win on a roll of 1 to 20
Yep.
and lose on a roll of 21 to 38.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'll take it.
You ready?
Roll 1d38.
Unorganized command. Whoop. Where's the whoop? I don't see the whoop.
Well,
yes, bottoms up. Amazing.
that was a fun character. Over to you, Kat.
Yeah.
You even lined up some music and everything, and that was it? Like, serious?
Well, no, like the way. So let me narrate my death.
You died. You drank poison and died in front of an entire audience.
Yep.
I sit there looking stunned as my dear friend hits the floor in front of me. Dubstep still playing in the background. Because we were not expecting it to actually finish this soon, quite. And so our final drop is still like at least a minute off.
No. Like the drinks are timed to the drop, right? Not all the glasses are poisoned. Ricochet drinks is fine. What's his name? Wes?
Bexford.
Wexford drinks. His face screwed up a little bit, but it was from one of his glasses. Everything's fine. The music, key change. Ricochet drinks is fine. Wexford drinks. Again, his face screws up. But as Ricochet is reaching for the dice the last time, he rolls the dice, and everyone can see a blue cyanotic tinge coming up his fingers. And he knows that he's dead, and he still takes that final drink, salutes Wex with the glass. Ladies' blessings to you.
I'm very sad.
And dies.
I am very sad. No!
There are gasps, and there are about 3 seconds of total silence as Riquete just slumps on the table. And then the entire place erupts.
Sad.
So the question to you is, does Wex die too?
I assume so.
Probably not.
All right.
He won.
He won.
He won the duel. He didn't drink yet the poisoned wine. So, yeah. That was a thing.
That was a thing.
That was definitely a thing.
Well done. I think I want to cut here before you get a new character and we see what actually occurs after this.
Well, I kind of want to see what I want to see what happens with Cat.
Well, the party continues.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we maneuver your body into the place of, prominence, which is on a chair at the back, so we can glorify in your death a bit.
Oh, I
Because
like my will says that I should be stuffed and put in a place of honor.
really?
Amazing.
I am blessing this fucking casino.
I want to know where the poll comes into this because I feel like we've got some unresolved business.
Oh god. Cat, somehow I think that Fiona will make an animatronic out of Ricketts' body that will dispense drinks out of his fingertips.
Hey, look, he did say that he wanted to be blessed, and we are in a casino dance club, and he's going to love the robotic dubstep I'm going to make him a favor.
Amazing.
Probably dubstep is already like a massive hit because, someone literally just died to our music now, which is kicking off our friend's career here again, like we promised him that it would. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Really, actually, if this was going to go down, this is probably the best way that it could have gone down, really. Like
That was very effective. The only question that will remain is how to top this next week.
Well, we obviously going to need a new establishment owner.
Oh no! We're just going to need a new pit boss. Establishment is starting to have some reputation behind it.
Yep.
This is true. This is true. So yeah, we finish up the party basically.
Turns into a wake.
It does turn into
A little bit
wake.
though. Not too much because there's no one to mourn him.
Sort of ends at about 10 o'clock the next morning with me having a last stiff scotch to your body in the corner. That's like definitely done with rigor mortis at this point, and me trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to get you stuffed. But I do have technology and I know a lot of humans, so I think this is going to be all right.
Well, you know, a diminishing amount of humans, I have to say.
Yeah, lower every turn.
I can know more.
Well, one of the last people to leave would be Locke, who walks on light, who will stand over the body side and then just silently salute him with a drink, down it, and walk out. Yeah, if you wanted to actually talk to Walks on Light, this would have been a great opportunity.
Done. Let's do it. Dawn, we're chilling out at Awake. What should I be talking to him about exactly?
I don't know. He is featured quite heavily in many of.
He's pardon, sorry.
He's featured quite heavily in many of the you have.
In many of the sorry, you're cutting out a little. Sorry.
The notes you have, the newspaper clippings.
All right, let's find a good line of defense.
Yeah, he is a prominent citizen of the Silver Quarter. This one. Things like walks on light, drinks dogs dry.
Midwife murderer walks free, which is the one that I kept referring to.
Yep.
Silver Quarter looking for love.
I don't think that's him.
Really?
Miss Silver Quarter is Miss Yeso, sure.
So.
Yeah, that's right, because he has a real interest in the Yeah, of course. Well, I just, if we haven't really spoken that night, then maybe I might just strike up a casual conversation with him and sort of how he felt about Rick. I think that might be interesting. Now, will that be investigate if I'm actually looking at information on what he knew and what he thought of our establishment?
You can just talk to him for a while. So he will say, that was the damnedest thing.
It was, wasn't it? It was so elaborate, and I truly thought it was going to go, at least it did.
Well, that individual, Monsieur Riquette, really was a credit to your people.
He was, yes, he was. I want to thank you for taking the time to come down to this tonight. It really does mean something to us to have you here.
This was quite an evening. Would you be interested in hosting other duels in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I can see this being a space that we could properly move into. I think there is a real place in this town for bringing duels out of the shadows and more into the domain. Like, if people truly want to have it out, then the least they could do is actually make it the back, a bit more traditional, a public event again. I think that's only wise.
I think that would be a grand idea.
Okay. Well, we can certainly do that. Let me pour you a drink. We can drink to a newfound respect for dueling, public dueling, and place of our little manticore in the midst of that.
Yep. Okay. So that is a thing that happened.
That is a thing that happened.
Wow. Okay. Do you have any idea as to what class you would like for your next character? Because this one is
was
very
not
dead.
expecting to die.
No.
Um,
You pushed it this way?
yeah, I don't know.
You have a week at least to figure out, so
Yeah, I
no
have a
rush.
week to figure out. Need to figure out how to connect it.
Well,
the
I'm
easiest
me.
thing
I have
is
connection.
the
You-
ministry
you know.
just sends someone else.
Somebody up.
Yeah, because Miss Erika did a good and honorable thing, helping cement the reputation of Manticore as a place to be, to see people die.
Hmm.
Macabre,
Which
but
can be
accurate.
extremely handy for us, by the way.
Yes, your reputation has gone up significantly as a result.
Oh, actually, can I ask, does that significantly change the quarter now that we're having jewels again?
Ooh, Rick can
There's
earn some
actually
EXP.
there is actually a place that is now in the quarter that is known as the place to hold your pop jewels, and that private jewels are now found.
So, so I think that we will need to actually establish in the next game. This was more
Okay.
than Elizabeth,
All right.
but absolutely, if this is a place that like, if you cause this to be the semi-official or even official place to resolve your public disagreements, that would be a massive change.
I think that would be really good.
Yeah,
I'm
that would be
down with that.